God has the very best for his own. He can never leave you stranded or give you rubbish. And of course, we know that God gives you the very best as long as you are his child. And he will not just do the choosing for you. You also have a role to play, a very important role to play. Welcome to the Hearts and Homes podcast once again. I am Motunrayo Akinola, and if you are yet to subscribe, kindly do so now. You don't want to miss on our exciting episode. Thank you for joining us on this space once again. So for today, God won't just choose for you. You have a role to play. Yes, you have a role to play. And in that roles, you want to avoid some mistakes. So I'll be sharing with us some few mistakes we should avoid as singles when making our life partner decision. The first one is seeing singleness as a curse. No, it is not a curse. It is a blessing. And everything starts from the mind. When you see it as, oh, I'm waiting too much. Oh God, when? All those kind of cliche and all that. Don't see it as a curse. It is a blessing. And once you see it as a blessing, you would make the most use of that time and that season. What do I need to equip myself? What do I need to do? I tell you, in fact, some married people wish that they had used their single life in a better way to equip their career, to equip their health, to equip so many aspects of their lives. Okay, so please, guys, don't see singleness as a curse. You waited too long. You waited too long. Jesus was a single. Paul was a single, and they achieved a lot. Tomorrow we are still talking about them. So what do I do with my singleness to avoid distractions, depression, or worry or pressures from sides? I'm fulfilling dreams. I'm working towards being committed to myself, to personal growth. Because God did not make you halfway. He did not make you halfway. And I don't want to marry as halfway person. I'm equipping myself to be a complete person in my journey into marriage. So do not see singleness as a curse. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. Like I said earlier, some married wish they had used their single life in a better way to equip their self to build capacity in so many aspects. So there, your single life is not a curse, it is a blessing. In fact, if it was God's will, that I don't even understand. God's will. God could have given birth to you maybe with your spouse, Abby. It's not possible. Even people that give birth to twins, they still come on their single way or journey to life. God gave birth to you singly. So enjoy that singleness and maximize it. Then another mistake you should avoid as a single person is waiting for a relationship to define you. You are waiting for Mr. Right. No. My identity is in Christ Jesus. Marriage, like they used to say, can either make you or mar you. And that happens to you if you have not made maximum use of your singleness. And you don't want to wait till a Mr. Right comes to make you right. You should have your standard, your right standing, your personal makeup, your identity. Who are you? It will even help in your decision making of your marital journey. Okay, so don't wait for somebody to define who you are. Your definition is in God. Your definition is in who God has said you are. You are a royal priesthood. That verse is not for the married, it's for everybody. So your definition is not attached to your life partner or your marital status, but your definition is in God. To our singles that have friends or colleagues or so, schoolmates that are all now married, don't journey into marriage out of jealousy or competition. I remember when I was in my secondary school, all my friends went to the science department. But because of my own strength or knowing my level of knowledge then, I knew that going to that route can mar my journey to academic excellence. I gingerly faced my commercial level, and I thank God I did well with it. So same thing applies to we making decision out of competition or out of jealousy. When you have friends that are getting married, be there with total happiness and joy. We've seen siblings where the younger one even gets married than the elder one. So it could be your friend, it could be anything. Be happy for them. When you're happy for people, people will also be happy for you. Don't see married people, oh, God, when. I'm not saying we should not covet good gifts like the Bible says, but let your heart be pure towards people's progress. Let your heart be pure towards people's celebration. Don't make, those kind of emotional immaturity can even lead you into making a desperate decision that will affect you in the long run. So be happy for people and face your journey. Your journey in life, if you're supposed to be on lane A, don't look at people on lane C or D. Face your journey and you will not miss it. Again, another mistake to avoid is avoiding social vices. Social vices can imply you compromising your standard. You've reached maturity and you feel like, oh, you have to compromise your standard for you to fulfill your sexual urge. Don't compromise your sexual stand for any reason. You want to maintain that, that standard until you are married. And we have a lot of people having alternative, going to pornography, phone sex, or what have you. They are all not so necessary. It dampens your soul. It cuts short your journey to progress and success. So you want to stay with God. It's been said that a idle hand is a devil's workshop. Get yourself busy. Engage yourself with building skills and likes, building your career, hanging out with healthy relationship that won't expose you to all these sexual or social vices. And you want to maintain that standard until you find yourself in a marital relationship. That is the will of God. And anything outside it can become rubbish, and you don't want that. And again, another mistake we should avoid is having impossible standard. I remember when I was still working, a colleague was saying, if the guy doesn't have a car or doesn't have this and that, I can never marry the person. No, wait, I'm not saying all those things are not good. We don't want that. We don't want comfort or ease. But there are some standards that are so impossible or that are not ideal for you to make a decision for a life partner. An example of a standard could be, I want to marry an Englishman whose mother is from Nigeria and particularly from a tribe in so, tribe and all that. I'm not saying these things cannot work out, but there are some standards that if it's too much, you can find yourself being delayed unnecessarily. All things work together for good for those that love God, quite all right. But the bottom line is, don't set standards that are very unrealistic or way too much. Be flexible. Our God is not that hard. Be flexible and relax. Let God be the driver. Okay, God can give us the desires of our hearts, but notwithstanding, don't set standards that can push people away. Okay, we have seen couples that married with almost nothing, but today they are growing and doing amazing things together. That's the power of togetherness and love. With that two ingredients, you can go anywhere. So don't let your standard be, oh, he has to have this, he has to be this, he has to be that. Let God, fine, you can have your spec, but let God be in that journey of your decision. Don't be too much. Yeah. Another mistake we do find ourselves as single people is finding ourselves in undefined situations, like situationships. What is happening? You are having too much long talk. What is the definite thing happening at a particular time or a specific time in this relationship? Where are we heading to? It has to be defined. We don't just want to stay there and occupy space or trying to maintain a status. I'm engaged. But in this relationship, let there be a defined situation. What is holding us back now? Is the situation because we are studying, or this and that, we're working on a project, or one thing or the other is hindering a progress, or you don't have a parental consent yet, or don't let the situation be undefined. You are just in a relationship. You don't know what is going to happen in the next 6 months. You don't know what is going to happen in the next 1 year or 2 years. Please, time is life, okay? And lastly, don't be a half single. Don't be a half single or be a single or a singlet. Okay? You want to be complete. Why I'm saying this is not being a half single is when a relationship is taking a lot from you. You can be single and be complete. In fact, God made you complete. He didn't make you halfway. So how will you be in a relationship and it is draining you emotionally, financially, spiritually? You are not being nourished back. Don't be a half single. You find a partner that is of a positive impact and influence to that journey. Is he asking about your vision? Is he concerned about your progress? Is he or she concerned about, yes, your progress, your relationship with God, or things about you? So do not be a half single. You want to get married complete, not a drained person. I remember in my past relationship, of course, before I got married, okay, like I've said, dated about 6 or 7 guys within the space of 2 years. It was not an easy decision. And my reasons for those options or decision was that I wasn't finding this to be a fulfilling one for me, or the request from it wasn't my standard. So you, of course, once you know your standard or your take, your who you are as a person, you will know what is good for you or not. Quite all right, we don't want to make decision outside God. We don't want to make decision outside God. So it's very best to wait than to waste in some aspects. You don't want to waste in a relationship that is draining. So do not be a half single, be a complete one. And what completes you? God, your work with Him, being in the right association, equipping yourself, and balancing your life generally. And when you can do this as a single, I believe strongly that your marital life would be a journey that would be fulfilling and God-centered. So that's what I have for you for mistakes to avoid as a single. And I hope you've gotten 1 or 2 points. And if you have something to share with us, kindly drop it in the comments below. What are those things you have avoided as a single person? And if you have questions, we might consider it in our next episode. Thank you very much for joining us in this episode. See you again. Bye.